Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Who knows where you are, but welcome to Bourbon Neophyte. Been a minute since I seen you. Some of you was probably last week. Could have been Friday night on Ben's stream. Who knows? But I've been here. I just didn't stream last Sunday. Just got too darn busy. But I hope you all are doing well because I am. It's a pretty nice day out here in Vegas. Got up to about, I don't know, 65, 66, slight breeze, sun. So beautiful day to just sit back on the patio a little bit and relax, which I did. Cup of coffee. So, normal day. Then the errands started. But that's just how that goes. Hope all of you are doing well. And I'm kind of excited about this stream, particularly. You guys saw it. It's the Glen Scotia Mermaid. Um, Heard some talk on it. I was lucky enough to Eric Gunderson was able to drop off a sample or two to me here, and I decided no better time like the present than to just go ahead and get into this, and let's really see what this uh, Glen Scotia is about. And what I do know is that it is the first release in a series of, I do believe it was 5, if I remember correctly, and what I had read. It's going to be an annual release. It's 12-year-old single malt scotch, finished in, I have to get it here, in a Palo Cortado sherry cask. So as you have different types of sherry. One of the ones we always talk about is Oloroso or Pedro Jimenez. So this is just another type. So that being said, I have poured it already. It's sitting in a Glen right now, about 10 minutes. Got my cover on it because I want to be able to get a good nosing on it. So I'm going to let that go. But just because, and while I say hello to everybody, I poured something else, being that it is a single malt. And again, thank you to Eric. It's the Triconal Irish Single Malt 10-year in a port cask, coming in at 46 ABV. And that's what I'm going to start off with while we're chatting here. And that's what I have in the glass right here. Yes, I know it's an Irish, being that Stacy wasn't on. I thought, well, you know what? I probably should do one just for her. But anyway, kind of a light on the nose. In other words, wow, almost like I know, well, port cask. Okay. So got a little wine note there. Wonder why. But sweet, dark fruit on this on the nose. Little ethanol, but light, warm, sweet, but pleasant on the palate. Or excuse me, on the nose. God, next thing will be on the palate is what was in my head. And I see Top Dog made it. Top Dog, great to see you here. JD, yes, I knew once I put that Glen Scotia up there, you would not be far away. Josh, cheers, brother. I'll be making a stop this week over at your place, just so you know. I was waiting for a particular bottle to arrive. Unfortunately, it has been delayed. So I'm going to finish getting some things together for you, and I will be dropping them off, and I'll let you know when I'm on the way. That way you can be prepared. That's for sure. So let me go through here. And then, of course, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Eric himself, the benefactor of this stream here and my drams. So cheers, Eric. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I know a lot of other people do also. So here's to you, sir. That's nice. A little lighter. Like I said, it's 46 ABV. Love the ABV. Wow. Let me get another sip on this here while I'm going through all of this. Hey, Cooler Running. Cheers, sir. Great to see you. Appreciate you. Hey, Bourbon Baller. Cheers, brother. Thank you for popping in here. And Mr. Great Shot himself. Cheers, man. Thank you for coming in here and saying hello. I thought I saw Mr. Morgan floating around there somewhere. Cheers, sir. Hope all is well there across the pond. Appreciate you being here. And of course, I know you all did, but please smash that like button so hard that Livewire Whiskey is going to feel it. He's going to have a knot on his forehead. When he signs on at 6, yep, he's going to know it. So thank you, everybody. Let me get another sip of this. You know, it was a little lighter on the palate than I thought it would be for a single malt, but it's quite silky on the palate. Sweet, definitely a little citrusy, but I'm just trying to think. Let me get another sip here. There's just something interesting building. Wow. That's a nice whiskey. Triconal, single malt, 10 years, port cask finish at 46 ABV. It's not a bad whiskey. Can you guys see that okay? It's not a bad whiskey at all. I'm waiting for the legs to develop a little bit as it goes. Roll down here and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh, cheers, sir. Appreciate you. Always great having you here, sir. Thank you very much for popping in, saying hello. Let's see. I don't even want to know. If you're talking about what I think is, I do not want to know. Oh, yeah. Hey, look at this. How'd he get? It's a little. Well, Stacy wasn't on. If you would have actually been able to sneak into the day room to watch this stream earlier, you would have heard me, Greg. So, hey. That's okay. You're all right. They'll put the laxative in there and you'll be just fine. Look at this. Look at this. It is the one and only Hanging AZ. Cheers, man. Thank you for popping in, Peter. Cheers. Thank you for popping in here, saying hello. Always appreciate you. Thank you very much. But yeah, this Triconal Irish, this is a nice little opening dram. That's for sure. I mean, I've heard Stacy talk about it, and I've actually seen some on the shelf at Total Wine, but you know what? This is flavorful. The finish isn't as long as I would like it to be, but it's good. There isn't. Hold on. I don't understand that. Hold on. Let me look. Believe it or not, I've made mistakes once or twice. Huh. I bet you got it now, JD. I don't know why, but it went back to it went somewhere it shouldn't have. I just saw it in there. So check your email. You should be good. And I apologize. That was more than likely operator error for sure. But yeah, this triconal is very nice. And 46 ABV, really nice. I was thinking about something to start the stream off with, and I wasn't sure. So I'm looking at the shelf, and of course, I've got the Killowen Irish whiskey sitting right here. I've got Bruichladdich 18 sitting right here in front of me. I'm like, what do I want to start with? And then I just happened to look at some of the other things, and I went, oh, let's do an Irish. What I wanted to check the ABV, and I go, hey, that's fine. It's a single malt. I think that will work fine with what I'm going to get into here in just a little bit. Yeah, being that Stacy has some family things she's doing, birthday, I decided to pop on a half hour earlier, and then it dawned on me, oh, Kilco was streaming at 4. I wasn't thinking clearly, but sorry, Brian. But anyway, here we are. Glad to have you all. I know some people are like, wait a minute. I can't believe he's on a half hour early. He's on a half hour early. Yes, I am. And then there he is. The man who knows Glen Scotia. I had to have him on.
That's the
Look,
first pour.
that's the one you're gonna pour?
Yeah, I just did. I have it right here sitting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing this Irish here right now as we bring people on. That's fine. Yeah. I've got a nice pour of it here, thanks to Eric. Yeah.
I even got the official Glen too for it.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a Glen Scotia Glen. I don't have one. But great seeing you, sir. How are you?
I'm good, relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that earlier. I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait to drink anything today on Sunday.
Well, you know what? I thought about trying for 3, but I just had a few things going on. And today was the nurse was in for my wife's infusion. We don't normally do it on Sunday because of the holiday.
Right.
Last week, kind of moved things a little bit. So anyway, so I said, nah, I better not try because with my luck, something might go south. And I just did not want to chance it. So anyhow.
I got to go to dinner tomorrow.
You do?
Yeah, I was eating some Swedish candy from her friend who came here from Sweden, and it pulled out one of my old fillings from like a long time ago. So now it's a hole in it.
Aha. Well, thank goodness you're drinking some good whiskey. That way it'll keep it nice and clean.
Yep.
Swish it around a little bit in there. Make sure that's right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I do not blame you. So did you see Top Shelf's whiskey, their review today?
No, I didn't have time because I was out shopping.
Bunnahabhain 9 peated from K&L for $50.
Which one is it?
Bunnahabhain 9, 9-year-old from K&L.
Do I have that one?
I don't know, but by gosh, it was pretty darn intriguing.
I'll check my stuff. I have a bunch of different stuff. I don't think I have a Bunnahabhain. I don't.
I have a Bunna, but I don't have that one. But if I'd have known they had that for that price, and it's peated.
I have an Altmore that's peated.
It's peated from Bunna, and yeah.
I was just at their shop last weekend, and I didn't see any there in Hollywood.
Yeah, well, that's where they came from. I'm almost positive they said K&L.
No,
talked about California taxes.
Well, it's probably their warehouse has it. So
probably.
Yeah.
You got it. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. But yeah, this triconal is very nice. This is an excellent sipping whiskey. I've enjoyed sipping on it actually.
Nice.
You know, it was a little lighter on the palate than I expected. However, um, this port cask is nice. This port cask is
Well,
very nice.
I picked up the Bushmill was 12 at Costco for $37 instead of 50. So it's not bad. I mean, I've already took half
Yeah,
of it down almost with my friends. So
yeah.
it's not
Well,
bad.
it's one of those bottles that it's a decent price. It's good whiskey. I mean, it's not like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
knock your socks off, but it's absolutely worth sharing. It's
100%.
absolutely worth sharing, especially when you can find whiskey today that's more value priced at $50 or less.
Hmm.
That's good, has a nice nose, has good taste and was on the palate for that money. Yeah, crack it open and share it.
Yep. That's why I got a lot of
Crack it
bottles
open
open here.
and share it. I mean, that was good Irish.
Nice.
That was my first real sip of Triconnell. I don't think I have had any before this, so thank you to Eric.
And me and him have to get together because we're going to swap samples.
Um, yeah, this is really nice. Like I said, I was a little. It was a little different on the nose, but the palate was absolutely right there. It was just lighter, but it still has a silky texture to it. Still has a silky texture to it, and just made it a great
Uh,
opening pour. It was a great
I like
opening
Irish.
pour.
So you can't go wrong with Irish. It seems to be, it's my starter or my finisher, one or the other, like a dessert wine. Or no,
Yeah.
it's just whiskey.
Hey, Sean. Cheers, man. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. But I know you've had the Mermaid, and like I
Yep,
said, I still have it here. I haven't taken the Glen top off yet, and it is a Campbelltown, correct?
that's correct.
Yeah, it's a Campbelltown. So in my mind, I already went to that Campbelltown funk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Don't tell me yes or no, but I'm just saying I go right there, right off the bat. So in my mind, I got a preconceived notion already. So
Well,
I've
I'll
heard
be
people talk
different about
about
it.
it.
It's
What's
a
that?
little bit different than you used to.
Okay. And that's
I'm
what
just saying
people are
it.
saying.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm not going to say nothing to you to spoiler, but I
Correct.
know that as I think me and Eric were talking about it, as it's gotten opened more, it's gotten way better when it's opened. At the beginning, when I first
Well,
opened it, was like, for the price, I would never buy one. And now, as I've had it for like what 2.5, 3 months, whatever it is, I
mhm.
buy another bottle, which I do have a backup now.
Well, I haven't seen it here yet.
It's hard because it's only it's basically their seasonal release. It took over the seasonal releases that they had back in the past, which is
Yeah.
basically this
Well,
one is their seasonal release, and
uh-huh.
now they've changed it out to the Icon one, which is Icon
Correct.
one and
Correct.
Icon
There's
two.
going to be 5 of them, right?
That's
I
correct.
think
Yeah,
5 in a year or something like that of these.
one per year for
Okay,
5 years.
one per year. Okay, I might have read it
Yeah.
wrong, but I knew, and this is the first release.
That yes, it was. I want to say it was released last year.
It could have been, but I
Yeah,
never saw
I
it.
think it was released last
Hey,
year.
cheers, Drew. Great having
So
you here, man. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, so I was excited to get it. But I've heard pros and cons on it. So I'm trying to kind of push that back and stay open minded. But
no,
um, I might have known, I might not have known. I don't know if I've heard it, but of course, I had to go and went to Glen Scotia just so I could see the bottle and see what it was. I didn't
hmm
get any tasting notes or anything like that, but I briefly read a paragraph on it, so I at least understood. And I said, "Oh, Campbelltown," and then I went there. I could not. You can't help it because you know
I'll
what
say for
Campbelltown is.
the box itself, the packaging is very beautiful. So I can't complain.
Mhm. Oh no, the packaging is quite
It's
nice.
yeah.
There's no doubt about it. The packaging is great. I mean, I've seen some of the, I guess you call it posters or something like that.
Mhm.
Not here in Vegas, but online. I'm like, man, I'd like to have one of those.
Well,
But
the one I want is I want that. Well, I like to have both of them. I want both Icon 1 and 2 posters if they have it. That'd be cool
it would
because that
be.
dragon.
I
The second
just
one's a
like,
dragon. The
yeah,
second one's a dragon. This one's a mermaid. So this is, I guess
yes,
you say, mythical type
mhm,
creature.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was like, wow. Actually, I looked at one of those posters for a minute. I'm like, wow, they are really pushing this
Hmm.
to the public. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, so there's a lot of hype on this. But then again, the people that I know that have had it said, I hate to say disappointment, but I don't know what their expectation was up here. So that's why I said I didn't read
It's.
any
I
tasting
think the
notes.
expectation is price point and what we're used to.
Correct. And that's what they were
That's the
talking about.
number one thing.
It's not bad whiskey. And that's what they
No, it's
prefaced
not
it with.
bad,
It wasn't
but
bad whiskey. It's just
but it
that
is
the
a
price
high
they
price
paid.
point for a 12-year-old. It's super high for a 12-year-old.
Yeah. So I've seen it going for, let's say, $130 online.
That's been the MSRP on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've seen it online. So I kind of looked at that and I'm like,
I got mine for 127.
okay. So then that's fair.
Yeah,
I
I got mine
saw,
for 127.
yeah. Okay. So 130's MSRP
Hmm.
for a 12-year-old limited release, limited edition, whatever you want to call it. Once it's
Hmm.
gone, it's gone. And then they'll move on to something else in this particular series. But, you
Yeah,
know,
they get the second series is the Tawani Port peated. So I already have
oh,
that.
what?
So I'm going to compare that to the festival one, which is a 14-year-old 220 port that me and Ken like. So we're going to do comparisons on those, see how they are difference.
Well,
14-year 20 port peated, both of them are going to be peated. 14-year-old, and the ABV is really high too. So
so here it is in the glass.
nice.
Yeah. This is the mermaid. And I made sure I gave myself a nice pour there. It's not a little thing. I want to sit with this. I want to sip on it. I want to figure it out a little bit. And then if I need more, I have enough,
Hmm.
you know. But I've had this on now for about 30 minutes. So I've had it in this glass. I've had the Glen cap on it for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to go
Okay.
ahead and remove this cap and see what we got here on this Glen Scotia Mermaid. So I'm going to take this Glen cover off. Thank you to Top Dog. I love these things, that's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell it's a Campbelltown. It's not as strong as like a Kilkerran, but definitely malty, sweet on the nose. Um, I'm trying to hold on. Dare I say maybe almost a little. I know it's not, but it's like a burnt caramel. Definitely a creme brulee type of a nose. Sweet. Definitely a single malt.
Hmm.
Not really any ethanol whatsoever on this thing.
No, not at all.
Not at all. And you know what? You might be right, but for me, you mentioned 46 or north on the ABV, a single malt sherry. Take my money. Take my money. Oh my gosh. I like the nose on this thing. This is a nice nose on it. I hope everyone can see what the color looks like. It's nice. It's not super dark or anything for a 12-year-old, but it's I would say this is what I would expect from a 12-year-old Scotch as far as the color. And then the type of sherry that cask that it was aged in also will impart color. And this one's probably not as dark as a PX sherry.
Right.
Oh, I forgot. You have this, don't you, Mr. Great Shot? I think Mark does have it. And you know what? Is that on the palate, Mark? Okay, you got it. But that fruit, is that on the nose, or are you telling me it's when you taste it? Sorry, people. I'm trying not to get brief, but he's got me intrigued now. So he mentioned it. Like, oh, where's that at? I'm not getting any grapes on the nose, but I am getting a little bit of that brine. I'm getting a little of
Oh
that
yeah,
sea. Yeah.
I got that sea salt smell to it for me.
Okay. So that might be what's playing in there. And I said like a burnt caramel. It might be that brine, that sea essence. It's lovely on the nose. It really is.
I like it
All right.
even a high ABV. There's not ethanol on it, which I like.
And this is what 54.1. Yeah, 54.1. And it's not, there's no chill filtration on this. So all the esters are there. So let's see here. Wow. I'm not saying anything right now. I'm just going to let this kind of develop here, and then I'm going to take another sip.
Yeah, take two
But
before you make comments because that's what I did the first time, and the second time it totally changed me a little bit.
oh, perfect, Sean. So I know JD has it. I know Mark has it. Now you have it. I know Eric has it. So great. So hold up here. Let's compare. Let me know, Sean, when I start giving some thoughts on what I got on the palate.
Ah, there you go. Now you can taste it better the second time.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say this. I'm not disappointed in it right now. You know what I'm getting? I'm not disappointed in this.
Turn off mine. See?
Nice and sweet. Creamy.
I'll give you my
Warm.
I'll give you my interpretation in a minute once you're done. What my personal opinion is.
It's warm. It's okay. I think that's the brine. Well, I'd say a little salty sweet. That's
Yep.
what I was getting. A little salty sweet. I just want to let that develop there for a second. Oh, yeah. Okay. Caramel. Um, Rich caramel, dark caramel type flavor on there. The brine, the salty sweet is there. Uh, Creamy, buttery type of a texture on the palate. Little bit of that spice from the ABV, but it absolutely is not bad. I probably would peg this thing right at about 50, 52 ABV, so I wouldn't have been far off. I definitely know it wasn't a 46. But I don't want to say popcorn, but butter.
Okay.
I mean,
That's probably because the buttery flavor you feel you're
yeah,
tasting.
but
Yeah.
the way the way it's enveloping everything across my tongue and coming, just the way it's developing on the palate. It's like salted caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. I'm getting there. I'm trying to figure this. Yes, Olivia. Yes. Everybody knows you're here. They just quite can't see you, but they know you're here. They know you're a pest too. Yes, they do. And I heard you barking. I'm sure they did. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Great Shot. Yeah, anything that says Campbelltown or Glen Scotia,
But, oh
I'm
my goodness. You know what? Yes, that is right. It's a little drying. I wasn't sure, but I was letting this develop. It is a little drying on the palate, but to me, that salted caramel, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm going to say it is. It's not like in your face, but it's that salted caramel butter just feeling as that flavor comes through on there. So, wow. I think it's pretty darn good.
That's right.
Hmm.
And I'll say it's gotten better with time after I opened the bottle. I mean, way better
Mm-hmm.
than it started. It was
Now, one
strong.
thing I'm noticing is the legs run kind of quick down the side of the glass, but
Yes.
but it's oily. I don't know if anyone can make it out on here or not. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't see it, but it's beaded up nicely on there. So, being that it's unchill filtered, you have all of that still in there, you know? So it's like, oh my goodness, it's really good. And hey, David, cheers, man. I knew I saw you. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss him? Where's his entry chat there? Anyway, but cheers, man. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you. Thank you. But this, I'm gonna say this. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, I'm going to have to at least give this a solid 4 right now until I, get another pour. But I would tell someone to buy this and try it out if they could find it at $130. Shit, I don't think that's terrible. I mean, if I could get it for 100, I'd like it. But
Yeah.
at $130, hey, you know what? I don't think it's bad, JD. Eric,
Oh,
dude, thank you. This to me is a treat.
don't think me. That was Eric, not me.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Eric.
yeah, Eric.
But this is nice. Now, it's definitely a Campbelltown. You get that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And pardon me for the expression of it, but that Campbelltown taste, that funk, it's a Campbelltown. But man, I think it's a nice whiskey. I know, Bourbon, he didn't say it was terrible, but he was a
It's a
little
price point for
disappointed.
him. Yeah,
What's that?
I told him to go back. I told him the price point was kind of high. I said I liked it at the beginning, and then as it's gotten aged or opened, I think it's gotten better with time. And I think if he goes back, bourbon goes back, he'll probably like it even more than I do. Because I mean, I was shocked.
Well, I think he's dropping me off a sample of it. I know I've got Tail of Cake. He's going to drop
Okay.
off, so I will get to actually taste Tail of Cake.
Like I just opened up this Campbelltown the other day with my friend, and holy crap!
Which
If you
one
like
is that?
heavy charred, this is super good.
Oh, look at that. Heavy char.
And if you like a barbecue charred, yeah, it's 57.8. And the only thing I don't like about it, it's a screw cap, which is fine, but I'm not used
They
to
are fine. They are fine. I'm
it. I
not a
just
purist.
when I open it and I smelled it, I was like, "Ooh, that's ash." And when I tasted it, oh my god, it reminds me of the one I sent Ken from the Netherlands, Glen Scotia.
Mhm.
But this is 3 times as charred, like a triple charred, which is so good.
That's
Yeah.
all that counts is that it is good.
But for me personally, this reminds me of cinnamon oatmeal raisin breakfast, but on the lower point, not so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of malt, oat, raisin finish with a little bit of butter, like caramel
Hmm.
butter.
That's interesting. See, I can understand what you're saying about the oats or the grain,
Hmm.
but well,
I'm not saying like 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 a sweet breakfast on the lower
no,
like
no,
you're
no, no,
gonna
I
make
got
it.
it.
Yeah,
But the cinnamon, okay, I can describe that spice I'm getting,
and that
and
might be
it's
the end
more
part.
towards the center of the tongue from the back to the front.
See, mine
That's
for me personally, when I hit that like that spicy that you having,
mhm.
mine's on the tip in the middle, not the back.
See, well, it's not directly, but it starts there and it goes forward. So it lives in the middle towards the
It just
front.
stays in the middle. Yeah, it stays in the middle for me. It's a little up front, it's a little spice, and then the middle it's
Hmm.
sweet, and then at the end it's mellow.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind the Campbelltown. I mean, I don't. Some people do not like that that distinct flavor Campbelltown has. I mean, I understand you either like it or you don't. It's like you either like Pete or you don't. You can be wrong with the liking Pete. That's fine.
It's in
But
the water.
yeah, but you know what? I've tasted them and I go, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I enjoy it. I want to get a bottle of the Kilkerran heavily peated because
Yeah.
I chuckled when I tasted it, and I'm like, "You call that heavily peated?" you know, because like I said, when I did that whole thing about peat, it's not what you think.
Mhm.
People say, "Oh, Lafroig, Ardbeg, Lagavulin," not to beat that horse, but oh, that's heavy, that's heavy. Well, no, it has to do with the peat they use, and then
Mhm.
how long they smoke that grain. That's really not a heavily peated whiskey. The flavor is robust, absolutely, but the peat level is not. Now my Octomore 15.3 at was it 307 parts per million
Mhm.
versus let's just say 35-40 for Lafroig and 50, and I don't remember the exact numbers on my head, but 50 parts per million for Ardbeg, and then you have Octomore. So yeah, that's they consider that heavily peated. And when I sip that, I'm like, what? I said I would consider this medium, you know, but ooh, it's delicious. I'm gonna have to have another dram here in a week or two to. I want to get that a little more air in that bottle, but it's really, really good, really good. But you know, I'm gonna have to pour just a little more of this since Eric dropped it off. I
Don't
need a
worry,
little more of
I
this.
can get you more. Don't worry.
I'm worried.
I have two. I have another bottle in my cabinet that's unopened.
I'm always worried. But
Oh yeah, when the bottle's empty, you get worried.
exactly, you gotta. Exactly. I think we all worry.
My biggest problem with me is when I get a bottle and I open it and thinking it's gonna be bad, and then I can't find that bottle later. Then I'm pissed.
I'm telling you, this is salted caramel. That's what that note is on the nose. I am convinced it's salted caramel.
Oh, big time solid.
And with the malt, a little touch that sweet cream,
Hmm.
like creme brulee with just a little.
It's like a
And I
little,
know
like
it's
little.
not peated, but you know how they burn the top of that
Hmm.
and it has a distinct. That's what I'm trying to describe. But the salted caramel is the best way I can describe it. And matter of fact, just talking about it is making my mouth water.
Yeah, when it, like,
Serious.
yeah, definitely when you burn the top of it, but then you bite into it and it's sweet. You're like, ooh.
Separation anxiety. Exactly, Sean. It is. I think we all have a story about that. I think we all
Yeah,
have a story about
there's two bottles I regret not buying the second one of, but
it.
it's okay. I'll say the one I'm made a mistake on was the Loch Lomond 14-year-old 20 port peated finished.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I bought in Poland. It was released only for Poland, but it was Loch Lomond. I put money on that. It probably would have beat the 2020 Festival Glen Scotia, which I would have been shocked. I thought it would beat it. That's how good it was.
Let me say this next glass I'm drinking of the Mermaid. Now that the palate shock's over, I'm acclimated and stuff to it. I find it quite enjoyable.
Oh yeah,
I find it quite enjoyable on the palate.
hey, Eric, how long was that bottle open before you sent that to Anthony? That's what I want to know. How long did you keep it open before you sent it to him? Because after about 3 weeks, it totally changed. So if you got a 3 week open bottle, you definitely
Oh,
get
I
you
think
have
Eric's
it.
had his at least that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm. I think Eric's has his. Eric,
And,
correct us if we're wrong, but this sample came from a bottle that had been previously open for a couple of weeks, correct?
yeah, I want to make sure because I know me and Eric were talking about it, and I think he's had it 4 weeks, a month. Maybe he did it. Maybe he had
Okay,
longer.
I don't know, but I think he's had a little longer. But anyway, no, this is another one of them whiskeys that, my gosh, I would definitely bring out to the table. This is There you go, the magic numbers.
Yep. Anything after because I traced it every week. And the third week, I got way better.
Well, I'm so glad you showed back up there, Top Dog. Were you making ice? Okay, so we got a couple of weeks of age on it. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I'm tasting right now, and it's gotten so much better when I first opened it. The first week was good. The second week was getting better. The third week is basically what I'm tasting right now. I've had mine open for when I opened up on Kinstream, which that quite a while ago. 2 months ago, I think.
But yeah, I missed Ken today. I mean, I knew he was on. I was kind of in the background, but wasn't able to
Yeah,
get in
I
there
couldn't get on
because,
the
like I said, it
stream.
was
That was busy.
infusion day for the wife. So
Yeah.
anyhow, no, this is a great dram. I mean, $130. You know what? At $130 for 54 ABV, no chill filtered. I don't know. I would have laid him down. I would have laid him down, and you're right. I might have said, yeah, if it's $20, $30 cheaper, I think that's the price point. But if you paid over that, let's say you paid 150, 160, I could see maybe you have a little reservation about it. I could. Because I wouldn't say it's $175 good. Let's just using that as the number. No. I would probably have said, if it was more around the $130 range, not knowing MSRP at the time, it would have been worth it. But I'd have paid $130 for this.
Mm-hmm.
I would have. I would have.
You
And
know,
at one time we were
I'm a
all
fool for it.
where
So.
we were like, $100 for a bottle of booze. I'm not going to spend $100 on a bottle of booze. Yeah, well, we've done all past that shit. We've done all past that shit.
If I'm paying $140 for Glen Scotia, I know what I'm getting myself into, so I can take the gamble. I'm not like some new company or something I never had. I can take the gamble, so that's why I paid it.
Well, you know what, Orlando? Dude, just get yourself better. But yeah, you want to crack that, and when you can, get a couple of drams out of it, put the cork on it. So when you first crack that thing, I would like to know what a fresh crack is like. But then let it set about 15 days, and then go back to it. But no, dude, you take care of you first. Everybody here is going to tell you that.
Yep, 100%. I do like the spice on it though.
say what I like about the spice. I like to have that spice. I do. And it's not overpowering. It
No,
doesn't numb your tongue.
I
It
like it because the
doesn't
spice is still there with the sweetness, and the sweetness and the spice go together.
uh, sweet and salty.
Oh yeah, I
That
mean,
used to be a flavor that just didn't appeal to me. But when I got really into scotches again after 30 years, now it's like, oh, that's the savory spot. And then you add a smidge of peat to that, the salt, the sweet, the peat. It's like, that's it. No, I'm serious. It's like, oh my goodness,
that's probably
it's
why I like the Klein Leash
wonderful.
14.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. We all are in agreement.
yeah,
All
because
whiskey, I don't care if it's
I think it
bourbon,
was
American single malt, or whatever, it always does good with a little bit of time.
Greg, and Ken open up that one, right? And maybe somebody else for the mermaid on his string.
Uh, you know what? I can't remember, but I know
I,
what you're talking about. I know the stream, but I don't remember. But yeah, I think you all had fresh cracks. That if someone straight asked me, I would have said they were all
yeah,
fresh cracks.
we're like it's good, but it's okay when you first open the crack, but now
Mhm.
it's way better.
There we go. I'm surprised Gray could remember that far back.
Oh,
I mean, we're lucky if he remembers to wipe when he leaves the shitter.
keeps wiping
Oh, that's right.
forward.
He wears Depends, so he's not worried.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, Greg. I had to do it. Oh gosh. But no, this is a very nice sipper. Mm. Did your wife go back to Poland?
No, she's still here for she's leaving in June, first week of
Oh,
June.
okay. I thought she was going back for something.
No, they
Just
leave every year. My daughter goes to school, so every year she goes back. So that was part of our how would you say to go back and see her family, stay at the other house. Plus, it
mhm,
helps me out that she can bring back bottles for me.
that's wrong. It is a good dram. What are we talking about? Are we talking about the Depends and Greg?
Yeah, he's probably talking
We've,
about the
we've
depend.
jumped a couple. We've jumped a couple of topics already there, Top Dog. But no, that's good. Now I'm half tempted to go grab my Glen Scotia 15 and pop that sucker.
Oh, don't make me grab my bottles. I have no clue which one I would want after that.
Well, I only know the actual Glen Scotia I have is that 15. I just looked; it's sitting up there, and I haven't opened that yet at all.
Oh man.
I just read your comment, Greg, and it's funny. I got asked about when me, Mark, and Marty were getting together to do another uh, tasting. I did. I laughed. I said, "Well, it depends on when Great Grandpa can remember to do it." I
I
said,
mean, yeah, whatever. So
Yeah. Well, he'll
I
forget that he
need
wants to replace me by the end of the stream. So.
just don't pass out. I can't turn it off. I don't want you to go down go drinking Glen Scotia or Campbelltown products
Who
and forget
was
to turn
that
it
that
off.
did that on the stream? And it ran. Uh, I forget who it was, but it was talked about.
There's quite a few people that fell asleep on stream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's funny, but you just there's not much you can do, especially when you can't wake them up and you're calling them and you hear the phone on the background. Like, hey man, wake up!
Oh, gosh.
Didn't Shayla pass out on stream? If I remember right.
I do not know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think Shayla passed out on stream. I think she hit it hard, and I think she fell asleep.
Well,
On
you know
the
what, Greg? I have an unopened bottle of it. The
which one's
five,
that? Which
the
one?
Remus Repeal 5. Everybody talks about that. I still have an
Uh,
unopened bottle. And the reason why I haven't opened it is um, I got a sample of it.
well,
And so
I
I
got
had no reason to jump into the bottle. And so,
well, Big Stream. I got all the samples, all 7 years of the Remus.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Good.
I don't know where they're at because my wife moves things around. But yeah, I got that on the stream. Tater Dom brought it to me because I had his E.H. Taylor, basically a single barrel, the high proof one. And then he also gave me which was nice of him. He gave me a George C. Staggs 2024 sample.
Oh,
So he gave me some other stuff too. He gave me some mezcal and tequila. That my cup of tea, but I told him I would try it.
so I was watching Greg's whiskey guide on Saturday, and him and
Okay.
Menno were doing a blind. And one of the ones that Greg had gotten was trying to pick out was the Scapa 16.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
The old school one or the new one?
I do not know. I think it was newer,
Okay, I got plenty of those.
but he liked it.
Oh,
He
I
liked it.
I
Well, yeah, what's not to like?
I've already downed 3 of those bottles already.
Oh, yeah. It's
And
easy to do.
here's the 21-year-old.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Look at that. Nice.
and that is for 21-year-old that is it's 50 52.9 and it's about $140. But the 16 is basically $60
To
and
me,
that's 46%.
that's a damn good price for a 16-year-old
You remember when
single malt.
I told you about Scapa when I went to Total Wine & More that they jumped it up to 140, and
Mm-hmm.
then guess what? I went back the other day. They brought it back down to $67 because nobody was buying it.
No,
I was the
well,
only one that bought
it's
it.
one of those that people just don't know. You see what I'm saying? They just don't know. And until you can generate, uh, some interest, a lot of that stuff sits. And that's just like, what is there? One of the brands that they have there called Battle Hill.
Uh huh.
Okay, they're a non-producing distiller, so they buy
Right.
stuff. Yeah, it's Glen Scotia in there. It's just using Highland Park as an example, or Glen Scotia as an example. Sometimes they're great prices. They're $50 or less because they're blowing them out.
Yeah, they
And
have a
they're
2 or 3 here that are I think $60-ish, but they look really good and they're on clearance. So
well, there's some yeah. I mean they're 6, 8, 10-year old. Some might be a 12. You have to look on there, but
yeah,
for the money, and most of them are 43, 46 ABV.
hmm yeah, for 50,
Come on.
$60 and it's 11,
Yeah,
12-year-old. I'll take a gamble,
exactly.
especially with the
Exactly.
taxes going up.
There you
Maybe.
go. Sean knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I hate to, I mean, when I say I hate, I don't want to just tip the hat. I don't want to make people go and look for it and buy it. I mean, it's fine, but don't shy away from some of these non-producing distillers, like Alexander Murray, just using that as another example, that,
never had it.
they
What's
go to
that?
these distillers and they get some stuff and then they may not be able to disclose it's Glen Scotia, but it's a 10-year or 12-year or whatever. And sometimes it's really worth it. I mean, it is a gamble, particularly if they do not mention the distillery that they got it from. But
Yeah,
I have an
don't
Alexander
shy
Murray
away from
here
West
that's a,
Anthony.
yeah, yes, 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 yes. You and I both talked about, I have had that. Hold on, let me highlight that. Bring that up. I have had that.
It's
Man, it
that's all I
was
have left.
good. It was really good.
It's a low ABV, but it tastes really good.
It was. What is it? 43?
No, it's 40, 35-year-old.
Okay, I knew it was somewhere. It wasn't anything higher than that, but I had that, and oh
No,
my
it's good.
goodness!
I have
It
their sherry finish. I have
now
like
is
quite a
that the
bit.
blended one?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
super rare blended. Yeah, the rare
yeah.
blended one.
And again, people will turn their nose up because they see blended. It's 35-year-old Scotch blended together. So all of the blends that's in there is 35 years old. I think it was 250.
I got it for 225 when it was on sale at
Okay.
the house.
I knew it was somewhere in
Yeah, but
there when
it's
I saw
250
it.
normal.
But
It's 250. Went back up to 250.
yeah, but I'm saying I knew it was somewhere
Yeah.
like that when I got it. When I didn't buy it,
Mhm.
but I tried it. And I was like, oh my goodness.
And
Oh my goodness.
I got a 25-year-old sherry finish one. I also got the
But I have to
Costco
say this.
15-year-old.
I have to say this. What kept me from pulling the trigger on the bottle, I think it needed to be 43 or 46 ABV. Now I understand then that reduces the amount of bottles, but whoever blended that said this is what they want. This is the profile. So I got it. But I mean, I think it needed just a little more in ABV to push me over the edge. Mr. Rance, cheers, brother. Appreciate you being here. You missed it. I was drinking some Triconal Irish single malt 10-year in the port cask. Really good. Being that Stacy wasn't streaming, I figured I'd jump in there. They have. And thank you for reminding me about the Klein leash. Yes, they have. And that's why I
And
tell people don't overlook these independent uh, bottlers. Don't.
well,
You
you
know,
know me, Anthony. I've always picked up independent bottles. I pick
Oh
up
yeah,
all the time.
absolutely. And because of you and other people's recommendations, it says, a lot of times it's worth the gamble.
Yeah, I mean, especially for 50, $60. Come on.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah. So this one here, wanted to make sure I didn't roll over the dog.
Ooh,
Anyway, this one here is it's fantastic. It's it's a Duncan
uh,
and Taylor. It's a 30-year-old. It is a blended Scotch.
nice.
It is a blended Scotch, but it's all 30-year-old whiskeys in here. And oh my goodness, this is so darn tasty. So darn tasty, without a doubt.
No, because I have a 30-year blended. I got a 30-year blended, 35-year blended, 25-year blended. And you know what? They've all been good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
They
you
are,
can taste the
especially
maturity
this
on it
one.
too, even though it's low ABV, but the maturity of it tastes so good.
Hey, Paul, cheers, brother. Appreciate you stopping in, man. Thank you. Always good to see Paul come in, say hello, smash the like button. Always
Nice.
good to have people like him pop in here. I haven't seen any of your videos or shorts in a while from biking trails there, biking bourbon.
Uh-oh.
Hint, not that I'm waiting. Holy smokes, look at this guy. I told you guys, hit that like button so hard that Mike has a lump on his forehead. So when he opens his stream, he can say, Bourbon Neophyte gave this to me. There you go. And remember, at 6 o'clock, there will be live wire whiskey. Guaranteed.
Nice.
Guaranteed. Yeah, it's that time of year. I totally get it. But I just got to bust your chops a little bit, brother. Just got to bust them. But yep, I enjoy it. I am done shredding the trails at my age. If I break something, I just may not be able to recover anymore. Back in the late '80s, early '90s, to jump some stumps was not a problem. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think twice about it, and that was long before suspension was even popular.
Well, that's if
On
you
my
fall off, you can
Bridgestone,
bounce
what
right
I have,
back up.
I had a Bridgestone MB, be like boy 6. still in the garage and still moves out. Love that bike. I logged shit ton of miles on it back in the day. Shit ton. For me, serious, I would take my bike into work, roll into work, change at work, put the bike back on the rack, on the way home, stop, hit the trail, do 10, 15 miles, and come back and be home for dinner. And then on the weekend, for me to do 50 miles, out 25, back 25. I did one Centurion, which of course is a 100-miler. But yeah, I don't do that anymore. Don't do that anymore. Exactly.
That's true.
We all can't. We all can. So I love that. Oh my goodness, Sean. That is good. I got to highlight that again. We just don't recover. It takes days now. Yes. Yes, sirree, Bob. Yes, sirree. Mm. Some nights after this stream, after 6, 7 drams, it's like, whew.
I remember those days. I remember Ken stream a few times.
Oh,
more than once. A few
my
times
goodness,
I got carried away on Ken stream.
No. You? Yeah, but it was what, 3 steps to the bed?
Yeah, probably, if that.
If that, yeah. Stand up and fall over.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to stand up, so I'm just stopping the camera so no one has to see my butt.
Uh-oh.
But I got to get that Glen Scotia 15.
Oh.
Because I'm on Glen Scotia now. It's like I got to open that and see what it's like.
All right, let me see what I got. I got a few things. Let's check mine out.
And this is the older bottle, by the way. This is the older bottle. I walked into a store a few months back and bam, I looked up. I knew what it was. I knew what it was here, people. Let me highlight this thing. Yeah, I knew what this was. The Glen Scotia 15 right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that. JD is quite familiar with this one, so I'm not worried. Yep, that's it. And it's the old label. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's see what bottle this is. Let me look at that tag.
I did look at the date, but damn it, it's too hard to see. But there's the bottle, people.
2017. Nice. It's right here.
Yeah, I know, right, but mine is an 18.
I got 17.
Yeah, 9/2/18.
Mine is.
But this is the old label. But I walked into a place and I saw it on the shelf. I'm like, are you shitting me? I forget what I paid for it. It's been a minute. But let me open this sucker up. Because now that we're on Glen Scotia. And I have the Glen Scotia King live for you all here. There we go. And like he always tells everybody, don't buy it. Just let him know. He'll be glad to take it off your hands.
Yep.
All right.
It's terrible stuff.
Oh, nice little cork pop there.
All right.
Well, this must have been in the store a minute.
Cork problems?
Well, no. The cork has you can't. I don't know if you guys can see this, but right on. Yeah, you can. You could see it on the edge inside. The cork has stuck to it.
Did you? You didn't rotate it with the.
I did. I turned it to the side there. Yeah. But no, there's a lot of cork on the inside. I don't care. Cork will not hurt you. It's natural, people. It's organic.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a lot of cork on that sucker. And you know what? Oh, well. It's okay.
You're going that. I'll go with Victoriana.
So this is the God, yeah, you could see some cork floating around there.
Hey,
it doesn't hurt anything, I guarantee you, folks. But when you find something that's been sitting on the shelf a minute, it's nothing unusual.
it's Metamucil. It's roughage.
What's that?
It's a dietary tract pusher. The cork.
It doesn't. You know what? A lot of people say, "Oh, there's cork in it." There's nothing wrong with it. Drink it. It's good whiskey. And I poured a nice healthy dram there because of what it is, and I'm going to let it just. Ooh, my goodness, that's a buttery sweetness, isn't it?
The 15 is the most perfect dram there is. They make.
Holy smokes! All right, I'm not going to put the Glen on it and leave it set.
You know me, I've ramped and raved about the 15. I don't know how many I've drank of them, so who cares? They're so good.
Well, that's why you tell people don't buy the stuff. It's nasty. Don't get it. Leave it. Especially these bottles that are old and been sitting on the shelf like this. Come on, Sean. There's always room for another degenerate here.
That's what she said.
Yeah. That's why you don't want to buy these, people. When you find these old labeled Glen Scotias just sitting on the shelf, just call me, call JD. We are trained in disposal. Guaranteed. We'll take care of it. Well, sometimes you just got to try younger, Mike. Okay. But man, this has a great nose. This is butter, toffee, caramel, heather, pear. Wow.
Don't get too excited.
I know, but man. Okay, here we go. I got to have a sip. Wow. 46 ABV. Classic Campbelltown malt. Glen Scotia 15. You guys are getting some bang for your buck on the stream tonight. You didn't know about the triconal, and then I wasn't planning on opening this Glen Scotia 15. But, well, since you got me on Glen Scotia now. That's true. That is true. But man, the nose is great. Let me get another sip on the palate here.
Yeah, I decided to do the Victoriana. So.
Man, that is good. That is good. Even on a neck pour.
It holds it on at 46. You know, you just had a 53.
Well, 46 for me is that's where I like it in a scotch.
Yeah, you went from
43, 40, I understand, but
you went from 54.1 all the way down to 46. So that's a big drop, but it holds its own.
Well, I understand that. I heard that center is ready and waiting to take all of that crap. And I have spoken to the proprietor of that establishment that will recycle that terrible whiskey.
Yeah,
he is willing and ready.
I got this terrible bottle.
Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Camo Town Kid and Head 15-year-old, which is 15, 16. That was a top sell. Dustin said, "Oh, that's good." So I bought 2 bottles, and yes, it's good.
Well, I was watching him do the review of the Bunahaba 9 today, on Top Shelf Whiskey. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and take a look at that. That was impressive for $50.
I'll have
The
to check that
nose
out.
wasn't anything, exciting, but the palate, bam, totally different experience. Totally different experience.
Definitely have to take a look at that.
Yeah, yeah. I told him for $50, take my money. Bunnahabhain, 9-year, peated, take my money.
Mm.
Well, wait a minute. Did I mention sherry?
That peated sherry. Oh,
Take my money. Take my money.
because the
Here.
6.1 Bunnahabhain, it's a 26-year-old, but it's unpeated. That was super good. The Black Heart that I had, it was so
Mm-hmm.
good. I wish it was peated, but still was awesome at MSRP
Mm-hmm.
price. Though I couldn't believe it that picking up a Black Art for $270. 26-year-old
Oh
Bunnahabhain.
shit! Yes, I would have laid down the presidents for Black Art for that
That was
because
when
here
I was.
they're $500, $600.
Well, that's the bottle I dropped on Kinstream and spilled a little because the cork. I grabbed it by the
Oh yeah,
cork
yeah,
of
yeah,
the bottle.
yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, they're $500, $600 a bottle here.
yeah, I couldn't believe it. Just on the shelf in Lithuania for that price. I go, this is a $500-$600 bottle easily. And I said,
And
what do
you're
you have
looking at
for
them like,
euros?
really?
220, 220 euros. I said, yeah, I'll give you
Give me that one.
one.
Give me that one. Yeah,
They said nobody was
absolutely.
buying them. They said that nobody was buying them. So,
And you're like, oh, that's terrible. Yeah, because it's terrible whiskey. Give me one of those.
it was a 6.1 or the Black Art, and it was on the shelf for like 2.5 years, almost 3. So, see, Donald knows. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I said. If I could have found it here for, $270, I probably would have purchased it. But
And
at the $500-$600 a bottle, yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Keep the shit. It's always been overpriced. It's good whiskey, but it's way over frickin' priced. I don't think there's anybody who's going to pay 500-600. I mean, well,
Oh,
obviously there are people. Okay, let me say that, and it's your money. You do what you want. That's fine. But I damn well think it's to me at the high side at 250. 250. I was going to say 250. 250. Yeah. Dude, you must have been drinking already. Calling us sexy? Are you kidding?
he'll give us opinion about what he likes.
He made me laugh on his stream. He made me laugh because I popped on for a little bit and had that, but it was before that. But he was making a comment and he said, most people think New York Jews can't fix a car. And he's like, well, you're true, but he can. He can work on a car. He can fix things. And I busted out laughing when he made that statement because I understand what he's saying because it's that stigma, but it's just the way he said it and how he said it. And you had to look at him when he did it and his expression. I was laughing, but it was just a funny what he said because it's that stigma that like we can't
Right.
do these things. But I know he can. I know what type of cars he has. But anyway, but it was just funny. I laughed when he said that. I don't know, Donald. I think it's still too much at $5, but I understand what you're saying. Canadian, American. So that would probably be equivalent to, let's just say, our 300 or so. But yeah, I don't think I would pay $500 even for that bottle. Like I said, they're 5 to 6 here. I know it's good. I just don't think it's that good of whiskey. Yes, don't forget at 6 p.m. it's Live Wire Whiskey, people, and you definitely don't want to miss that shit. And you
Exactly.
heard it here. And yes, 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 yes. And don't forget Whiskey Uncensored. And believe me, it is uncensored to a point, but pretty much it is uncensored. And you definitely don't want to miss that. So go over there and subscribe if you haven't. Oh, he still has it. It better come with something for that. Absolutely.
Nice.
It is what it is, Ben. Absolutely right. But boy, I laughed when you said that because it was so damn natural and you never batted an eye. You just sat there and said it. And it was just a great delivery. Oh, gosh. I'm still laughing thinking about it. Well, of
And go
course.
figure.
But you'll get to reap the rewards.
Exactly.
I think, you know what? You get to the point in our journey where I am, where JD is, where you are, Bourbon, even, Eric, David, I could say this, and probably even Sean. We're very more selective in what we buy.
Mhm.
Yes, we do listen to other people, but we know what we like and we know what we're willing to pay for. We know how much we're willing to pay for things. And we just are because you just get to that point where it's like, you know what? Do I need it? Not really. Do I want it? Yes. But I have so many other things. I have so many other things.
But it's like the old fashioned thing is like sometimes you want it so bad, and you like, you know what? If I want it so bad, I'm gonna give it away as a present, and you never get to try it. I've done it a few times where I'm
I
like,
have to. I
I can
have
get it
to.
back later, and then I go back and it's gone, and I'm like, well, I hope
But you
they
know
enjoyed
what?
it.
For me, giving that gift, I'm fine with it. In other
Oh,
words,
me too. Yeah,
that is as
I have no regret.
gratifying as sipping it because I know I could say, hey, Donald, I don't have this or I don't have that. Can you drop me off a sample? I'd like to try it.
Hmm.
Here it is. Here it is.
I mean, yeah, there's
So,
like stuff I can get overseas that you guys can get. I'm like, I'm happy to
yeah.
share if I can get it.
Well, I'm not saying you ever got me a Glen 10 or a few other things, but I mean, holy smokes. Yes,
Same.
exactly. And I still have the Glen 10, and that came from Lithuania, people. And there's the man that found it and procured it for
On
me.
and on clearance as a good deal.
Oh shit! Yes, it was $30.
Yeah, about $30. Yeah, give or
Yeah,
take.
I I couldn't, and it's a fabulous bottle.
And I think here
Absolutely
it's what 60,
fabulous.
65.
What's that?
I think it's 60 or 65 here if you can
If
find
you
it.
find it, yeah.
Yeah. Like that, I have like your Wild Bear too. 2000 was it 5? Got that get a steal for you. 2 bottles of that.
And you know what, Ben? I didn't quite pay that for mine. And I will say this, it was good. It definitely was good when I bought my old rip, my Pappy. Um, hindsight, I had the 15 in one hand and the 10 in the other, and I was the first person picked to buy a bottle of the allocated so I could have a shit ton of other things. But let me say this, and when I turned around and the guy says that 15 is excellent, that's exactly what I came for. And so I looked at him and I said, "This is what you wanted?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I reached back and I handed him the 15 and I took the 10. And he looked at me and he said, "Are you kidding me? This is a Pappy 15." I go, "You said you wanted it, right?" He goes, "Yeah." "Do you want it?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I handed it to him. and he thanked me. But I was happy to get the 10. And it was definitely good whiskey. As a matter of fact, I popped it when we had that whiskey weekend, and Livewire was here, Storytime Distillery was here in Vegas, and Chris and Lil and stuff like that, and we all met up. But I opened it there and then. But it is good whiskey for sure, people. But the price, you gotta know
Hmm.
what you're getting. You got to know what you're getting. One, you got to want it, but two is the price is freaking stupid. The price is freaking stupid on Pappy anymore. I think it's going to come down, especially with everything going on in the world. I think it's going to come down. But anyway, hey, Thomas, I saw you here a little bit ago, but cheers, brother. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for coming in, saying hello, hitting that like button, and joining us for a dram. Appreciate you.
That was like me going to a Total Wine and there was a one bottle of Eagle Rare on the shelf. And I mean, I don't know if the lady was talking about. She was an oral lady. She goes, "Oh, my husband likes Buffalo Trace," and she's never heard of Eagle Rare. And I'm like, I said, "Hey, Eagle Rare is basically Buffalo Trace, but it's a 10-year-old." And she's like, "I never had it. Don't know what you're talking about. What is this?" So I gave her the bottle. Say, "Hey, take it." She's like, "What?" I said, "You're not gonna be able to get this bottle for MSRP anywhere else." So she took it, and I saw her later on her. She thanked me for it. So
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I already have plenty of them, but I'll just every time I see it on the shelf, like if it's at MSRP, I'll pick up one up because I like
Well, you're pretty damn fertile, Mike, so I can understand it.
it. Yeah, Mike. Thanks,
But
Mike.
but two is one. I really appreciate you being here on this Glen Scotia journey here, and I really want to thank Eric Gunderson being the benefactor
Hmm.
for the Triconal and the Glen Scotia. I mean, when I said Gunderstruck, there's a reason. And there are other people that have been Gunderstruck too um, because of him. And I have been able to experience some extremely exceptional whiskeys because of subscribers like Eric who come to Vegas and drop these things off. I mean, I'm just lucky that I'm in a destination city that people do travel to from time to time and
Hmm.
can get these whiskeys. And I know you've been the benefactor of a few hand deliveries and you're grateful to get them too, but so am I. And I just want to say that I am extremely appreciative of my subscribers who do this. I mean, it's out of because they want to do it, or I say, oh boy, I've never had this or I've never had that. And they willingly just when they're next time they're out here, they bring me these samples. There's 4, 5, 8, 10 of them. They hand me this package. When we meet up, it's like, oh my gosh, it's tremendous. Some I review, some I don't because I drink, you know,
Hmm.
other times. And I go, oh shit, I should have reviewed this. Oh shit, I should have reviewed that. But, they want me to have them. It's not necessarily to review, but this particular mermaid that Eric dropped off, I had to review it because there's a lot of differences of opinion on that. In my
Hmm.
opinion of the mermaid is that it is extremely good whiskey. At $130, yes, I would have put the money down for $130. When it opens up about 3 weeks, and this is what I was drinking, it's freaking sublime. It is good whiskey. And I'm going to tell everybody at $130, if you can find one still on the shelf, go ahead and buy it. I don't think you would be disappointed if you like the taste of salted caramel and butter on the palate. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. Other people, they're just disappointed in it, particularly at the price they paid. They feel that maybe it should be a little less. I got it because I've said that about certain things that, it is definitely good whiskey, but it's not $100 good or it's not $300 good. It depends on the price point. I'm just throwing it out there. And I just made the decision not to buy it because It just didn't make my toes curl, but damn, it was good whiskey. Yes. But at the price point that they wanted for the whiskey, I was hesitant. And I don't mind throwing whiskey uncensored out there. He liked the whiskey, but at the price point when he bought it, he didn't think it, after he has had it, that it was worth it. If that makes sense to everybody, that it wasn't worth it. And we've all made that choice before. We've all have had that experience before. So what you want to pay is what you want to pay. And we've all overpaid for whiskey. I'm no different because I wanted it. And then after the fact, it's like, but as JD's has said, we're more selective now in what we buy. We're more selective in what we buy. It's not that we don't want things, but we have so many things on the shelf. We have so many things around us that.
And I don't know if I'm going to be able to open every bottle before I die. I have
Exactly.
I keep buying
But
more. So
also,
to be honest with you, I don't know. I think what Anthony's also mentioning too is that this Cameltown Mermaid is going to be geared toward more of the Scotch drinkers than bourbon drinkers, but you might like it as a bourbon drinker. And I noticed that me first, I'm a Scotch drinker first, a bourbon second, and that's why you see my name, J Bourbon Approach, because I like bourbon, but I like Scotch first. Scotch is number one for me. It always has been, and so far nothing's changed my mind. Don't get me wrong, there's some great bourbons out there, but that's just me personally.
well, I totally agree with you. But I was a Scotch person first, got out of it, got into bourbon. Then I totally got out of everything for over 25 years. Just, I don't know, just stopped. And then I got back into it. Of course, it's a vengeance. But yes. And then what Donald Ranch's point is he and I were talking about the Oban 12 limited edition Twin Foxes from
that's the new one for US, right?
2021.
Only?
What's that?
US, is that the US only release or what?
You know what? I don't know. I think yes, it is. I think it's a U.S. only. Well, no, U.S. and Canada because Donald had
or I should say North America.
North America. Thank you. Yeah, North America. But oh my gosh! But the problem with that is by the time I opened it, tasted it, and went, "Oh shit, this is good." Reviewed it, realized, shit, I need to get another one. Gone. Yeah.
Yep. That's
so anyway, and it was only I'm going to say $130 back then. And I probably would have paid $160 if I would have found a bottle after the fact. Let's just say today, if I found a bottle for $160, it'd be gone. It'd be under my arm, whatever the case may be, and it would be gone. Because
let me check around in California because I have a few shops that I know that keep stuff in the back.
I mean, it is damn good whiskey. Don't tell Donald because he'd be telling you, "Hey, buy that son of a bitch for $130 and
remember,
get it."
I got Costco. We always have crazy stuff on the shelf.
True. Now you're right. Oban is a great whiskey, Sean. It's a great whiskey.
Make you feel bad. I've never had anything from them.
Okay, there we go. He corrected us. The Oban 12 was all over, so the Twin Foxes was all over. The 15 was the U.S.
So the 12 is the limited exclusive they do every year. Their seasonal release, right?
Yes, that was a seasonal release called Twin Foxes. Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I just moved it to right here. Ooh, sorry, baby.
I got you. I mean, I'm not familiar. I know the name, but I never had any of their products. So for me personally, I just see it on the internet and talk about. Okay, yeah, there you go. So that's their annual release. So,
Yep. Okay. This is the one I was referring to.
And what year is that? 2023 or what? 2024?
21. This is 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have some left, and it's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Okay, the 15 is only okay. I know. I mean, I read a little bit about that, so.
Independent Joe, cheers, brother. Here we go, everybody. Remember, Remember, everyone deployed Monday night get to celebrate 52 years of life with a few friends. 52, I'm going on 56
I'm
here
51.
in a month and a half, give or take.
51.
Yeah, yeah. Joe's a youngin'. Joe's a youngin'. But hey, if any of you aren't subscribed to Independent Joe, not only is he a veteran, he has one hell of a channel. You got to go over there and visit him. So make sure you guys go over there, visit Joe, say hello, and particularly if you're a veteran, he always remembers you.
And if you're in SoCal, talk to him. I've
Yeah,
been to it.
exactly.
I met up with him, and Independent Joe is cool as hell. He lives in a nice area. Nice. I like his setup, and he's a nice guy. Really excellent guy.
He absolutely is. And he is a great supporter of Whiskey too. Yep, 2021. But, well, it's 5:30. I'm going to close the stream. Remember, it's 6 o'clock. Live wire whiskey, everybody. Live wire whiskey at 6 o'clock. So it gives you some time to get yourself together and get your asses over there and pester the shit out of Mike. That's what you have a mission to do. Pester him. So, in conclusion, it was great having everybody. I am thankful to Eric for what he dropped off to me. Loved the Triconal, loved the Mermaid by Glen Scotia. It was wonderful. And I'm telling you, couldn't ask for a better person to share this with than JD, who is the Glen Scotia King. I'm glad I opened up the 15. I will do a proper review of it at
Good.
some point. But this is an excellent whiskey. So, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, everybody. It is really good whiskey. And I encourage everybody, if you can find the older label, go ahead and do it. But anyway, I appreciate you all here. I thank you for joining me this afternoon, this evening, this morning, depending upon where you are. But thank you very much. Everyone have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Cheers, everybody. Have a good night.